I feel a little bit like Boris Johnson today because I'm going to do something that I said I wasn't going to do. I'm lying to you guys. I said that I wasn't going to review many of those Polly's beers, or it was going to be until Christmas when I was going to do them. But as I unboxed them, put them in my fridge, opened my fridge up and thought, what do I really want to drink? And I thought, I've got to have this beer. This is the Antipodean even, India Pale Ale. What a can, what a load of great hops is going into this beer. So let's see what it's like. Welcome back to Rocker's Beer Review. Well, as I said in the intro, I felt a bit like Boris Johnson. I feel even more like him because as I was doing that, I was stumbling over my words. I was mispronunciation. I can't even do it now. I'm feeling more, I'm turning into the bloody guy. So anyway, Polly's. You may have seen the unboxing I did a few days ago. And I did say, yeah, it was more, these are my Christmas beers. I'm not going to review them, but I've opened my fridge tonight. I thought, I'm going to review a beer, what I'm going to do. And I saw this one, I thought, there's so much going on in this beer. The can art, as soon as you see the can art on this beer, you just think, this has got to be something a bit special. I've got such high expectations because it looks beautiful on the can. So let's see whether it's going to look beautiful. And as I say, this is an Antipodean, I've got the word there, Antipodean IPA, 6.4%. It's called Pura Vida, and it's basically, as the name says, basically Australian, New Zealand hop. So this is what it's got in it. It's got the Betty and the Bruce, those beer blends, which is a blends of sort of basically New Zealand type of hops, and probably Australian hops actually. Yeah, I mean, they are Australian, aren't they? Betty and Bruce, they're big Australian names. Enigma, Australia. Galaxy, I say Australia, but I always think that's American, but I think they've got an Australian version. Then you've got Nelson Sauvin, which is obviously New Zealand, and Vic Secret. It must be Australia. Victoria, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot going on in this beer. There's in terms of the different hops on it. But let's crack it open, get it in the glass, and let's hope that the flavour is going to be as good as the whole anticipation of this beer, because can artwork, all those different hops, and to be honest, I'm looking at the actual beer now as I pour it in and I'm thinking, this looks pretty damn good. Look at that. Look how yellow that is. That's, well, I mean, we love yellowy beers like this custard sort of beer, but this takes it to a new level. That looks absolutely spectacular. So far, the can looks beautiful. The number of different hops are very exciting and interesting. As we pour it into a glass, it looks absolutely superb. Let's hope the aroma is going to be up to that. I'm not really picking up nice fruity aromas with this. To be honest, this is the big disappointment. I'm getting the aroma of cabbages. It's definitely got a big savoury aroma. I'm not picking up those. No, I'm not picking up the juice. I'm not picking up much. It's got a very sort of almost cabbagey, slightly, very, well, not say slightly, but very a vegetable sort of aroma. Okay, let's go in. Cheers, everyone. To be honest, that vegetable type of aroma suddenly transforms into a slightly vegetable sort of flavour. It's a bit of a weird one, this. Firstly, it's creamy and smooth. There is literally no carbonation at all. It drinks very much like a double IPA in terms of mouthfeel. The carbonation is almost non-existent. You know there's a lot of that New Zealand style. It's got that New Zealand style in terms of the flavour. So you're getting that lime and gooseberry. You're getting the grape. You're getting the melon. You're getting a bit of kiwi fruit and lychee. That's quite a lot of lychee. But you're also getting guava, and you're getting. I mean, what else are you getting? I mean, something else in there, but it's definitely got that very much a vegetable type of flavour, which if you told me that this beer tastes like vegetables and cabbages, you'd be running to the hills, wouldn't you? But it's something quite solid about that. It's something quite different and at the same time actually very drinkable. You're not getting those big sweet juices. That's what you're not getting. But you're getting grape and melon. You're getting a lot of melon and gooseberry, and then you think and lychee and guava and all of those sort of flavours. And there's a cutting lime and lemon going right through it as well. But I think what the problem is with this beer. I'm going to check the date on it because it may be a little bit too fresh. Canned on the, no, that says canned on the 8th of the 11th. So it's over a month away. So I wouldn't say it was over, that it was like massively fresh like this week, too green. But it tastes quite green. Nelson Sauvin in this beer is very, very dominant. You're not, the sort of, the sweeter, the sort of juicier, the mango and that sort of thing you get from the Galaxy Enigma is not really present. Nelson Sauvin is all over it. There's Vic Secret in it. You know, you expect pineapples and stuff, but still very vegetable flavour. I mean, I've had Verdant beers that very much got that sort of flavour. Nelson Sauvin, as I say, is dominant. You're getting a lot of that sort of grape and gooseberry, but there's lime in there. And as you say, all those. I'm repeating myself, you know, because I'm a little bit perplexed by it. I'm not a little bit. I'm very perplexed by it. It is still a very good beer, but it's not quite a great beer, and it's not as, the billing is almost like the whole is, the sum of its parts is, the whole is not as good as the sum of its parts, if that makes sense. You know, when you've had a couple of things in there and you think, yeah, put them all together and it makes an amazing thing, but there's too much going on in this beer. There's too many different ingredient things in it, and it's sort of, it's a little bit out of sync. It's not as well balanced as I would have hoped for. But it's still a really nice beer. It's still a very interesting, flavoursome beer. I think it's that softness as well that's in there. There's a real creaminess about it without it being creamy and in terms of flavour, but there is a creamy texture there. And it's the fact that the carbonation is just nowhere to be seen. It drinks like a double IPA in terms of its mouthfeel for me. You know, many double IPAs you don't get a lot of carbonation in, and you get this sort of texture, this sort of chewiness, which you're definitely getting with this beer. It's interesting. It's complex. Is it well balanced? I don't know. I mean, it looks great. The can looks great. The concept sounds great, but I don't think it quite works. But it's interesting. And it's definitely worth trying. So definitely give it a go. If you see this one, give it a go. I'm really interested to hear what you're going to think of this one. But let's try and get some scores. Okay, the scores are in for this quite interesting beer. It's it's called Pura Vida, and I've got to really think about how to pronounce this. Antipodean IPA. Great looking can. It's a great looking beer as well, but it's a bit weird, and the scores, I was a little bit unsure about the scores, but we'll try and go through them. So the first thing was aroma. So yeah, still got a very vegetable sort of aroma to it, almost like a cabbage, spring onion, and it's difficult. There's some sort of fruit in there, but I'm not sure if it's melon, lime, something like that, grape even. It's just a bit weird in terms of a beer, and it's not overly inviting. So I can only give it 10 out of 20 for aroma. It's a low score. Appearance though, custard in a glass. I think it looks, that colour is exactly the right colour for a beer like this. I'm giving it 10 out of 10. Oh, I've got a bit of gas there, even though there's no gas in this beer. So 10 out of 10 for, 10 out of 10 for appearance. Flavour. Well, I'm trying to work out if I like it or not. There's still that slightly vegetable flavour when you first drink it. It's not juicy, it's not zesty. It's quite chewy, there's a little bit of dankness in there. And there's a lot of those sort of, there's lime, and there's lemon and grapefruits, and there's grape and melon, and there's gooseberry, and there's lychee and guava. Those are the sort of flavours you get, and that's a big mix of different flavours. You're not getting those sort of bright, you're not getting the mango, and you're not getting pineapple at all in this. It's very much a Nelson Sauvin led beer, in my opinion, in terms of the flavours. But there's so much going on. It confuses itself in your mouth. But in terms of that mouthfeel as well, it's so sort of drinkable because there's no carbonation. It's got a slightly creamy texture, soft mouthfeel. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely on the mouth, it's pretty good. But the flavours, they don't dance and sing across those taste buds. And the vegetable part of it makes you think it's a little bit green. But it's a month old, so it shouldn't be that green. It's just a little bit strange. I think it's just a little bit unbalanced for me. There's too much going on, and they all sort of dance around, and it's difficult to really grasp what you want from this beer. So it's not great, but it's not bad. It's just different. But there's still good difference. So I'm giving it 33 for flavour. Value for money. There's a heck of a lot of stuff in this beer. There's the Betty, there's the Bruce, there's the Enigma, there's the Galaxy, there's a Nelson Sauvin, there's a Vic Secret. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 different hops, and then 2 of those hops are like hop blends. So there's a loads going on in this beer. So I think that makes it good value for money. I mean, it was about £4.50, something like that, £4.50. 6.4% beer. I think it's worthy of a 9 out of 10 for value because there's a lot going on. You know that there's a lot of value in this beer. So it's 9 out of 10 for value. Overall experience though, I still like this beer. I don't know if I love it though. Too much cabbage. It's weird, but that's what I'm getting. It's still very, very big hitting vegetable sort of aromas on this. Spring onions and cabbages, and which you shouldn't really get from a beer really. But the fact is it's soft and smooth and creamy. The flavours are very, very much on that, you know, if I would say one dominant flavour, it's going to be lime. But it doesn't, the flavours don't dance on your tongue. There's not this refreshment from it. It's a bit strange on that front. But I'm giving it 13 for overall because, well, 1, because I'm whittling on, and 2, because I'm still confused. I could probably drink this beer again, and I'm lucky I've got 2 in the fridge, so I will drink it again, not on the review, but I still can't work it out. So I want you guys out there, my viewers, if you've had this beer, or if you haven't, go out and buy it and let me know what I'm talking about, because this is the strangest beer I think I've had. It looks great on the can. It looks great in the glass. The flavours for me just don't quite work, even though there's lots going on. So the score, when we top the scores up, is 75. So it's a recommended beer. And I think it's recommended purely because it all sort of, it's all good, but it's not great. It's just, there's nothing there that just elevates it above a lot of the great beers that we've had from Polly's. But I'm going to sit away and probably analyse this a little bit more. It looks tremendous. It's just a bit strange. It's just very, very strange. Let me know if you've had it. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think, how great this can artwork is, because I think it's the best can artwork I've had from Polly's, and Polly's make great can artwork. 75, it's still recommended, so go out and buy it, enjoy it. Let me know what you think in the comments. And until the next one, keep on rocking.